So hello everyone. I ran into some trouble with some of the recordings, so I'm just going to re-record whatever I can and resubmit them onto YouTube. Apologies for that, but you know, sadly these errors happen. The big thing was OBS. The encoder would sometimes crap out because I was live streaming, and also the image and recording quality as a result looked awful. Basically looked like I was recording this with a potato. I also got a new theme for spooky season, courtesy of an artist from Etsy that I purchased it from. So anyway, this is the character that I currently have right now. I was experimenting with different builds, and I found that, in my opinion, the best one is this with the dark... Not dark magic user. Those are the hexers with the Cryomancer. I also tried playing through it with the Ferocin Survivor with the Geomancer and with the Uasil Vanguard, but personally I find that this way is a little bit more fun. The fire and ice magic is useful against the bosses in the early game, and the equipment that I have is very good. So I did everything up until where the first episode ended. So from here I'm literally just going to sprint my way through the high wall of Lothric, get some of the useful shit as I find them. Really big thing I'm looking for is the stuff from the dragon in the tower. I mean, not the stuff from the dragon, but I mean, first thing we're going to do is run past the dragon. I'm going to get the soul farming armor, and then I am going to... First thing I'm going to do is get the soul farming armor. After I get the soul farming armor, I'm going to get the alchemist equipment, and then I'm going to try to fight Vort. So for this build, I decided to mainly stick to Geomancies. I found that fighting the tutorial boss with the Geomancer job, it's painful. You're agonizingly slow with your attacks, and you do next to no damage with set attacks. So I found that if you want to try doing a Geomancy build like this, the easiest thing to do would be to just start out with a Cryomancer and then get the starting Geomancies once you reach the shrine. This box here is a mimic. You know what? Yeah, we have 300 souls. Might as well show you what happens when you open the box with the chain that forms an S. It's a mimic. It eats you. To deal with the mimics, I find it easy to just poison them. And sadly, if you want to use Geomancy starting out, you don't start out with the with any of the Geomancy themed flames. For that, you're going to need the... what was it? The Cryomancer Flame. Because as you can see with the Dark Flame, it has moderate physical scaling and high dark scaling, so that's pretty useful. Part of me is considering whether or not to hide the stream from OBS. And I mean, the good thing about this job is starting out, he has more intelligence than the other magic starting classes put together. I mean, not put together, but individually, he has higher than the other dedicated sorcery classes. So if you want to try out magic, and even if like the stat spread is suboptimal, I'd say go for the Cryomancer, because he makes quick work of the starting area bosses. Then again, all the jobs do, really. I'm just picking this because of preference. That being said, I poisoned the mimics, and I'm just gonna let him slowly succumb to the poison. I also got Mud Throw. It's your basic Geomancy. It's not very powerful, but it's relatively fast compared to other Geomancies, and it does good physical damage. I could not hit a wall with it, that'd be great. Already there's slowdown, so I'm going to have to disable the preview now to deal with the slowdown that I'm getting. There we go. Coming up here, there's going to be a dragon. Like all the other times I've dealt with Mr. Scalia, I'm going to make sure to turn down the audio when the dragon screeches this time. Just going to isolate out when the dragon screeches, and I'm just going to turn that audio down a bit. Okay, Lothric Knight here. Maybe I should use Dark Flare. He hasn't noticed me because I have the Thieves Mask on. I recommend getting the Thieves Mask if you run through the high wall of Lothric, because with it on, you can easily avoid getting the attention of most enemies. So basically for this character, I want to try and reach close to the amount of faith I need to use the magic that I want, which I believe is 27. And since I have armor... That dragon needs to shut up. Anyway, since I have armor that can increase my faith up to an artificial threshold of 27, I can just keep that armor on for the entirety of the game and just put on passive equipment that allows me to have enough virtual dexterity to do what I want. And I already have a pretty good idea of what gear to have for that. That dragon is insanely loud. So yeah, the Lothric Knight, upon first killing him, he drops some Wolf's Blood Swords Grass, which is good. This weapon I have is the Eagle of Light. That would be the starting weapon of the Ulashiel Vanguard if you went with it. You can also easily buy it from Halflight in Firelink Shrine, so that's also good. I get the attention of this dingus. Unlike the Dark Sorceries and Dark Miracles, the Dark Pyromancies don't even have that good, or rather, don't even have as good tracking as those other magics. Ow. That ass. Anyway. So, if you want to knock out the Mimic without killing him... By the way, one helping of poison isn't enough to kill the Mimic. You're going to need 2 helpings of poison. But thankfully, these items make it easier. Those are Lloyd's Talismans. If you throw one at an enemy, it prevents them from using Estus. And if you throw it at a... I don't think this reaches. If you throw it at a Mimic, it knocks them out. And when the Mimic is unconscious, it's... Well, I mean, it doesn't knock it unconscious, it just puts it to sleep temporarily. And while the Mimic is sleeping, its mouth is wide open, and you can take whatever items he has in his guts. So the good thing about the Ulashiel Vanguard armor is that it increases my strength, dexterity, and intelligence. I was thinking maybe about going with the Ulashiel Vanguard so that I could go with more dedicated stats, but then I realized, you know, if I have armor on that increases my stats and I just keep my faith where it starts at, I'll be more than fine making an intelligence build with a dex build. I mean, not with a dex build, with a dark build. Because the good thing about dark is that it scales with intelligence and faith equally, so the dark builds tend to have a balanced threshold of both stats. wonder if I can see the damn thing running around here. Yes, I can, but I can't see him running around. I'm going to ignore him. That's, the Wing Knight. They're dangerous. Okay, one thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to jump. Yes, I made it. Good. For right now, I'm going to equip the Kindled Warriors so that I can get some good equipment drops from enemies. Once I had the Unkindled Warriors on, and I was able to get a shit ton of Twinkling Titanite, which would have come in handy for the for weapons like this, or for weapons like the Eagle of Light or the Evangelist Axe that you can get in the Undead Settlement. Both of them are very good picks, in my opinion, for weapons. So let's see what kind of damage Mud Throw does. Only negative about Mud Throw is that it's slower than Dark Flare, but that's like the only negative. Everything else about this skill is good for a basic pyromancy. It has good damage, it has good scaling. Moderately good poise damage, which I would not expect throwing a nugget of soil at enemies. I would expect that to be the case with other kinds of... I would expect it to have decent, at the very least, poise damage, but not as good poise damage as you can see. Going to check to see that I got the binoculars, as they will come in handy in a moment. Ember and the large soul of a nameless soldier. That is good. I don't know if the poison is going to affect the knight from there, but I know that it will affect it from this angle. That's one thing that I like about Geomancies. You get Poison Mist immediately upon starting as, either as starting as a Geomancer or just as a starting Geomancy from the Shrine, and that is very good for taking out enemies like the Lothric Knights. It's excellent for taking them out. Would be nice if I had a crossbow, but I digress. Lothric Knight is almost dead. Might as well show off the shield portion of the Eagle of Light. There we go. Oh my. I am so sorry if that gives anyone vertigo or a seizure. Broadsword on that body. Sacred Idol from the Lothric Knights, which is good. Let me take a look at the covenants I have. So, Stray Warriors is one that I like. That's the Geomancy Covenant. Both the Geomancy and Aeromancy based covenants, I believe they give you the same stat boost, and they give you the same items from killing enemies. Which is, Mounds of Glittering Dust. Those are used to enhance anything that has a physical scaling on it. Arch Titanite Shard from that guy. Nice. I don't think he noticed me, which is good. I can use that to my advantage. Just gonna keep on pelting him with Dark Magic. Three pieces of Twinkling, that's good. Well, not three, but I mean a piece of Twinkling, making 3 in total. That's what I meant to say. Apologies for that. Slight faux pas. Excuse me. Just say Granola and it gave me heartburn. Anyway, the dogs, even though Black Flame is a dark element, it's still a flame attribute attack. So hitting the dogs with it still stuns them. And hitting the barrels, anything that's colored black, usually when it comes to cases like barrels and boxes, if they have black tarps on them, that means they're filled with gunpowder. And if you throw any kind of fire at them, it will explode. Here's me taking full advantage of cheesing the enemies using the using the Thieves' Mask. Excellent weapon for the starting game. It increases your luck and increases your item find chance, which is very useful. I forgot that there are Lothric soldiers here that will throw grenades at you. I'd like to avoid that at all costs. So far I'm not seeing any encoding errors, which is good. But when I see an encoding error, I'm gonna dip. Okay, now for this guy. It's easier to do this with a bow and arrow, but I'm gonna see if I can do it with binoculars. You can basically free aim with the binoculars, and okay, you need to adjust the angle a bit. Let's try this. That didn't work. What about now? That's even worse. Well, I woke him up. So yeah, the Lothric soldiers will try to throw grenades at you, and if the grenades hit one of the barrels, oh, it didn't work that time. But usually, when the fire bombs they throw hits a barrel, the barrel explodes. There we go. Managed to hit him there. 2 items up here. One that I care. Well, 3 counting the equipment sets, but there are 2 big items here. The Storage Straight Sword in this box, which originally had the prison key. More importantly, Deserter's Armor. Wearing the Deserter's Armor gives me a Souls Gain boost while I have it on. So for right now, I'm just going to have the chest piece on. Because the chest piece, or chest piece, apologies. Anyway, the chest piece with the ring on, if I just have the chest piece on with this ring, and by the ring I mean the Silver Serpent ring, it will give me a pretty decent Souls Gain boost from whatever enemies I kill, so that'll come in handy. Estus Shard in here. I don't know if it's ideal to do this, but I will try to take out the Wing Knight and his little Lothric soldier companion. The Wing Knight is, if I can properly hit him, the Wing Knight is weak to Dark. So Dark Flare, being a dark attack, is very useful against him. Try to avoid his axe throw ability. He likes to throw his axes. Okay, that knight is dead. Let's go over to this guy. Take him out. Titanite shard from him. Nice. And there are some things I want to do here. Did I already get the Threaded Falchion? I did, so I just have to unlock the shortcut. If I can move. Okay, soldier. A bit of lag. Throwing knife. Okay. Getting some decent Titanite drops. Jumping onto this... Never mind. I was going to say, jumping onto that awning lets you get a Sacred Idol. I'll try to get that later. Let's take a look at this haiku. From Ash and Abyss. Your devotion leads you on to Iced Heresy. Apologies, I almost read that as Icy Heresy. Sadly, Icy is a completely different game. One where you play as a Hatsune Miku looking android with a katana. Did I rest at the bonfire? I think I did. Well, if I did, then I'll just have to show you the not the Assassin's Covenant, the Alchemist's Covenant. Sad reality with this job is my luck is pathetically low. It's at 3. Not like that really matters, because as long as I have gear on, that increases my item discovery chance. My low luck is not an issue. Did I already kill the enemies here? I think I did. Okay, well anyway. Lothric soldier here, take him out before he has a chance to do anything. These Lothric soldiers like to throw grenades at you, which is dangerous because of those barrels. I accidentally blew up the wrong one. Let's try that again. That one doesn't want to blow up. Well, anyway. Weighing my options, I'm going to pop an Ember. And I'm glad that I did, because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure that soldier would kill me. Black fire bombs, always good. Mailbreaker, good also. Lothric rogues who are in desperate need of learning manners. I did get Twinkling from him though. Honestly, Unkindled Warriors is possibly my favorite start in Covenant, because you can easily get some good shit from the enemies here. Throwing knives, Titanite. More importantly, using the cell key brings you into the cell, where you get the Apprentice Covenant, the Alchemical Blades, the Apprentice Alchemy, or Alchemist's Apprentice Covenant, good god, I cannot speak today, and the Alchemist Armor, which I'm going to equip. Well, part of it anyway. There is also an Outrider Knight down there, but I don't want to deal with him. Not right now, anyway. I have a ton of souls. If you want to know a pretty good way of farming souls, one easy way of doing it would be to farm the Lothric Knights at the 3rd bonfire, which I'm going to reach right now. The only problem is I don't have much health, which is going to be a bit of an issue, but, you know, them's the works. So, anyway, did I already get the potions? The fall control potions? No, I did not. So, I don't know if I should bother getting that. What if I remove all of my equipment and bring my equip load down as low as possible? Bringing down my equip burden that low and dropping off means that yes, I do in fact survive. Question is, do I survive the fall down? Let's see. Yes, I did. Didn't even take damage. Good. Okay, gonna go back to this. Go back to this. This. Vanguard. Clothing. I sold the Savages leggings because they sell for a pretty decent amount of souls, and I could get the Cryomancer trousers with the same buff, but for cheaper. So I thought, great, why not do that? Already killed those knights there. I mean, not the knights, but the soldiers. Okay, there are some marksmen here. One thing I'm not fond of when it comes to magic like Boulder Throw is, I mean not Boulder Throw, Mud Toss, is that it arcs at a bit of a strange angle. Okay, this is going to be a bit dicey. So with this on, I should be able to make decent use of my flame in my main hand with this shield on my offhand. And the main reason why I want this shield is because of that archer. Hopefully I can take him out. Okay, great. Drop down there without worrying about taking fall damage. Amazing. And for the Lothric Knight, I find the easiest way to take him out is to just poison him. Marvelous. With that soldier, the easiest way to take him out is with any magic at your disposal. I'm going to use dark magic and physical magic. And with the Lothric Knight, best way to take him out, he has the Lothric Knight Greatsword, and that is a very deadly weapon that I do not want to deal with at the moment. So easiest way to take him out would be to poison him, and then just throw shit at him. Please don't take fall damage, there we go. And, okay, past that soldier that I'm guessing was scab manning all the way down here. Bonfire has been lit, and now for this Lothric Knight, I'm going to take him out with poison. Hopefully he is not aware of my presence. Okay, good, he is not. Thank you, Mask. Because having to take out the Lothric Knight along with everything else that's here, especially since he's not a normal Lothric Knight, but a blue one, and the blue ones are particularly deadly. They're tougher than the red-clad ones, and they have buffs on their weapons. So I thought, great, the sooner I take him out, the better. Because I'm an errant little shit, I'm gonna pop these souls. And because I am an especially errant shit, I'm going to burn the Lothric Knight. Down he goes. This body we get the Lothric Knight Greatsword. It's a pretty decent weapon. I'm gonna go with a different Greatsword though. The Dark Wraith Sword is the one I'm gonna go with. Anyway, out of all the enemies here, big ones prioritize is the Wing Knight. And now that I've got him, I'm going to chat with the High Priestess Emma after getting this blade. Just gonna let the dialogue play out. Okay, when am I gonna be close enough to talk to her? Here we go.
Ah, the wait has been long, unkindled one. I am Emma, High Priestess of Lothric Castle. Allow me to speak frankly. You will not find the Lords of Cinder here. They have left, gone, to their journey homes converging at the base of this castle. Head to the bottom of the high wall, forge on through the great gate, and raise this banner to proceed.
Instead of giving us a banner, she gives us healing potions, which is pretty good. We talk to her again.
This farewell gift is for you. It is the insignia of an old covenant. If you fear trespassers, dark spirits drawn by the embers, then etch this upon your heart, and the old Concord will beckon noble blue sentinels to hunt these foul spirits.
Sadly, there are no invaders in this mod because of it being a modded game. Part of the code turns the online communications off immediately. So you don't have to worry about people invading you. And as a result, they changed the effect of the Wave of the Blue. Now instead of beckoning blue sentinels or dark moon knights to come by when somebody invades you, instead it just lets you farm healing items from enemies, which I think is much more useful. We talk to her again.
Unkindled one, head to the high wall's base. Go through the great gate and raise this banner to proceed. But beware, the dog keeps a close eye on things. The vile watchdog of the Boreal Valley.
And yeah, she's talking about the boss of the area of Vort. He's referred to as a guard dog because even though he's human, he has completely lost his sanity and basically acts like a giant hulking behemoth. His whole fighting style involves using a gigantic hammer to smash the shit out of you, fitting of an archetypical raging bullfighter. Red Clad Knight here. no problem for my magic to deal with. And up ahead over there, there is a Black Knight. If I'm careful, I should be able to take him out without getting his attention, thanks to my headgear. I wonder if he can be affected by Lowering Skulls. But as you can see, I'm too far away for him to notice, and as a result, he just returns to his post. Just for shits and giggles, let's see what I can do with Mud Throw, if that can reach him. Mud Throw does not have enough range. Dark Foliar does, though. So let's stick to using Dark Magic. Okay, now he's... Okay, no, he's still not noticing me. That is why I love this helmet. I tried running through this area before with a similar character, but without this helmet obscuring my presence. And my god, it was so hard running around this place with the enemies constantly noticing me. Like, that Black Knight followed me straight across the courtyard to where I was. Oh, hey, got 2 pops of Estus there. But anyway, the Black Knight followed me from clear across the frickin' courtyard. All the way. Like, I tried running back to the bonfire to see if I could get him off of my ass, and no, the Black Knight kept on running after me, and cleaved my scrawny ass in two with his spear. So yeah, the Black Knights are no laughing matter. Anyway, before I even consider fighting Vort, I'm gonna head back to the shrine. Let's take a look at the magic that I have. I have some Aromancies, which could be useful against Vort, but I'm mainly going to get some, lightning sorceries from Halflight, and I'm also going to kill an NPC to get his help in the fight. The NPC I'm talking about is the Swordmaster. If you kill him, you can summon him in the fight against Vort. He's pretty good in that fight. I recommend it. Frame rate is at 30 FPS. I hope nobody minds. As far as I'm concerned, I'm perfectly content with having the frame rate at 30 if it means having the recording in the game run smoothly. Because although I am running an NVIDIA GPU, I am running it on a laptop where all of the circuitry is sandwiched together, and as a result, this thing overheats if you look at it too hard. I even have a cooling pad on here and everything to keep that from happening, and it still happens. Anyway, I'm going to put the flame on my offhand, sword on my main hand. Whose attention did I just gather? Ah, that guy's. Okay, let's take him out. Let's take this guy over here out, and maybe I could attempt to fight the Watchdog a second time, just to get some good shit from his soul. Mainly a moderately good ring. Really, the only reason why I would recommend playing as the Ferosin or the Aromancer, I was going to say Battle Mage, but no, the only reason why I would recommend playing as a Battle Mage is with the Battle Mage, you natively have access to a weapon that you would normally have to wait until reaching Archdragon Peak to get. But honestly, I think that weapon is just more of a crappy gimmick. It's basically a curved sword that lets you do a dashing somersault instead of a kick. And I think it's more just a shit gimmick more than anything useful. Pop the Estus Flask. Going to take out Mr. Swordmaster. Got like 2,000 souls from him, which is decent. The Uchigatana, which is an excellent weapon, especially for the early game. But most importantly, I now have the ability to summon him in the fight against Vort. Let's go up here, because I don't think I went up here. No, I did not. I can tell by how the, Damn it, they killed me. Anyway, the Eagle of Light is going to come in handy for the Vort fight. Although, what I think would come in more handy is if I get some light magic to equip. Just anything that deals lightning damage will screw Vort up epically. So I'm going to go to Halflight and I'm going to get, well, once I reclaim my souls, I'm going to go to Halflight and I'm going to get Castlight and the Flash sorcery. Flash basically launches a spear, well, not exactly a spear. It launches just like a dart made of light at enemies, and it deals lightning elemental damage. So it's good. One good thing about the Eagle of Light is that since it's a sword and shield combo, you can easily protect yourself moderately well from enemy attacks with it. March Solvent Unknown Traveler, that's good. Down here is another Ember, which is awesome. So yeah, in my opinion, if you want a job that has a decent start, as far as like stat spread is concerned, I would say go with this or go with the Lucille Vanguard. That's another one with a pretty balanced stats. Even though it specializes in intelligence, it still has a decent enough amount of miracles to, a decent enough amount of faith to be able to get you some moderately powerful miracles. Okay, gonna pop this. I'm gonna go over to Halflight and I'm going to get some magic from him. Mainly the only two magics that he knows.
Hail to you, Ashen.
I also got the armor from him. Well, I mean, when I say, what I really mean is two useful magics that he knows, Flash and Castlight. Hidden Weapon is good. I think it makes your enemy put their guard down more often because they can't see your weapon. Repair is useful, and Chameleon is good if you want to prevent enemies from noticing you. So, might as well try out Chameleon.
There is much to do, my friend.
I always think that he only knows those two magics because the majority of the magic teachers only know two magics. Moving on. Do I have any other kinds of useful armor? Could try getting the Witch Hunter armor from Carla. Or the, could try using magic against these guys, so let's try getting some, Dark Miracles from Vyasa here. Two big ones I want to get are the two ones that she knows, non-nibble. If you start out as a... gonna get the Blood Guard, Gauntlets also. Eventually I'm gonna get the whole set, but for right now I'm just gonna go with the Gauntlets. They increase your faith, intelligence, and dexterity by 1. So that's good. Enough strength to be able to use the Silver Kite Shield. And a little bit more faith and intelligence. That's why I say that if you go with basically any of the melee magic or just any of the dark magic job classes, you're set. So for Vort, I'm gonna go with Flash and Castlight. And maybe go with Feroce and Windsword. The good thing about the Battle Mage's, or the Pilgrim Staff, apologies. Good thing about it is that it is a... Good thing about it is that it has decent physical scaling. Could go with your Store Straight Sword. It's 20 less damage, which is not that bad. So the way that these sorceries work is Castlight. Originally, it just served as a light source in vanilla Dark Souls 3 and in other Souls games, but in this game, it gives you a buff to all lightning damage. And Flash is basically Soul Arrow, but lightning flavored. Wind Sword is Fair and Flash Sword, but wind flavor. I wonder what flavor wind would be. Anyway, I'm gonna level up a bit now. I'm gonna put 2 points into Endurance, Vigor, Strength, and Dexterity. Just so that I can natively use, like, the only weapon in the game that I give a shit about. So, yeah. Gonna go to Lothric Castle Courtyard. Gonna see what kind of damage Flash can do against the Lothric Knight there, and then I'm gonna try to take out Vort. Another thing that could be very good against Vort is using the lightning pine resin. Apologies, I'm having trouble Englishing today. But yeah, lightning pine resin on a weapon like the Eagle of Light or the Astora Straight Sword will also do quick work of Vort. But for right now, I'm gonna pop an Ember. I have 2, so should be able to last me well. Okay, I have what was it? Cast Light on, so I'm going to see what kind of damage this shit can do against the Lothric Knight, who conveniently hasn't noticed me, which is good. Oh, he dropped a shiny. Let's see what that shiny is. Refined Gem. Eh. Better than nothing. Okay, another Lothric Knight up there. Let's see if I can flash him. Yes, I can, and since he's the Greatsword variety, he has less defenses. Marvelous. So the buff, I think, works for all manner of lightning damage, not just like lightning sorcery damage. I have to check to see if it just works on lightning sorceries or if it works on all lightning damage. When it comes to the marksman, it's always good to strafe, or to at the very least move at an angle. Another piece of Twinkling, so how many does that net me? 10. Already I have 10 pieces of Twinkling Titanite. Honestly, this Covenant's overpowered. Okay, let's see what kind of damage this can do. Honestly, before I do anything crazy like that, I'm going to first summon some NPCs to help me in the fight. I believe the chance of this staff increases my lightning damage also. Let's take a look at it. Temporarily increases lightning damage of spells. Okay, so that only works for spells. Does the buff only work for spells? Increases lightning damage by 10%. No, it's just a flat increase of lightning damage. Excellent. So there are 2 NPCs I can summon for this fight. Lion Knight Albert. He's always on your side as long as you are on good terms with the Priestess of Lothric. If you were to kill Emma, or later on in the game when Emma is assassinated, she will basically, as like her dying wish, send out Albert after you. And Albert will basically try to murder your ass. If you, however, are on good terms with Emma, like right now where Emma is alive, the Lion Knight Albert will be summonable for the boss fight, which is very good. Here's hoping that Albert doesn't antagonize these pilgrims because they are neutral. Swordmaster is also good in this fight because Vort has some pretty crap resistances to bleed. But for right now, I'm going to see what this does to Vort. Let's see. Could also try using some fire urns, but I think I'm just gonna go with buffs and yeah, I'm just gonna go with straight buffs on him. Here's the cutscene for Vort. I like the way that armor looks, to be honest. I think it's the assassin's armor, but just recolored. So anyway, big frozen goatsy asshole in the sky opens up. Vort crawls out of it. And he screeches at us. So this is the fight against Vort of the Boreal Valley. Ow, he hit me there. I recommend you be careful against him because he hits like a truck. Swordmaster and Albert will do a good job of distracting him and doing decent damage. His moveset was buffed since the original Dark Souls 3 and since earlier patches of the Convergence, where now he actively deals dark damage and uses ice magic, along with his normal moveset of just being an annoying pile of shit. The Swordmaster died, but thankfully Albert is still here. Ow. Need a heal. Thankfully Albert is pretty tanky, so between him distracting Vort and me doing moderate damage to Vort's icy ass, we should be able to triumph here. Okay, and I think we already have... Yes, we have. I'm gonna put on the Deserter's gear to make sure that I get as much of a Souls gain as possible. Great. I think with this full farming setup, Vort actually gives... Yeah, no, he only gives 19,000 souls. That's less than the Watchdog. So, you know, if you want to farm souls, I recommend fighting the Watchdog instead of Vort. So, upon Vort's death, you get the banner that Emma mentioned. The original, Emma gives you the banner, but in this mod, the banner is a drop from Vort. So now you raise the banner, and now we can make our way to the settlement. So, upon raising the banner, it summons demons. I mean, it doesn't summon them, but it alerts them to us. Don't let their weird faces and bloodstained hands fool you. These gargoyles are friendly. All they really do is they just grab us and airlift us down to the high wall of Lothric's base, which leads to the undead settlement. I'm going to skip the cutscene there because all it does is just show the undead settlement. It just shows them dropping us off here. Now for magic, I'm going to swap out this shit, and I'm going to go with Airblade. Can't use anything else at the moment. So I'll just stick with Gust and Airblade. And I'm going to go back to the Uziel Vanguard's armor. At the very least, partially. With the Thieves' Mask. So that I can... Actually, no, wait, that's the Heralds Armor, just without the cape. That explains why it looks... That explains why it uses the model for the Heralds Armor. God, I'm stupid. It's just a retextured Heralds Armor. Dragon Spear here. Don't have enough or rather, I don't have enough faith to use it at the moment. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to go with the Bloodguard's armor then if I want to use that. There is a Thrall here. The Thrall's whole thing is that they're fast, evasive, and hit moderately hard. Twinkling Titanite on that corpse. Sharp Gem from the Thrall, which would come in handy if I want to infuse a weapon with Sharp. Thrall down there. Easy way to take care of him is to just use any kind of magic at your disposal. I'm going to use Aeromancies, because why not? And with enough hits of it, he should go down. Especially since he's not aware of our presence. I think the Aeromancies have tracking, so that comes in handy. Anyways, we go down the stairs. There's an enemy over there. That would be a villager. It's a Berserk villager, not a standard villager. The Berserk villagers use daggers, and they basically run up to you and just start slashing the shit out of you. Grey Wolf there, alerting the boss of the area, Kymar, to our presence. It's not the first time we run into the wolf either. He's basically a periodic occurrence. He's just all over the place. And he only ever stops, or rather he only stays put when he's with Kymar. Over there is an evangelist. They're tricky and a bit of a pain to deal with. Their whole shtick is that they like to use bleed, and they have very heavy, very hard-hitting weapons. And the good thing about Aromancies, especially Gust, gonna try with Warrior here. That hug attack, she sets herself on fire and will try to hit us. She'll basically grab onto us and smother us while burning us to a crisp. It's not fun. Unless you're a fan of non-consensual immolation, in which case it probably would be fun. Anyway, Hollows here, just take them out. Just killing them, see if I can get some good upgrade materials for my Covenant. So, a lot of the Hollows that you find in this area, they don't drop souls, but they still drop items. That comes in handy. And this body has my favorite weapon in the game, the Evangelist Axe. It's a halberd. Oh god, I am too heavy. What is something that I can drop? If I get rid of the Vanguard's armor while I still have high enough stats to use it, I should. Well, anyway, what I like about this is that the axe, it's a halberd, deals native dark damage, even though it's refined and fused. But it deals native dark damage, and on top of it, its strong attack has the hammer moves, has the great hammer moveset, so you can easily screw up enemies with poise.
Grant me death.
Like it's broken in the catacombs.
My shackles.
Here's Vort not Vort, Yule of Londor. Let's chat with him.
Oh, then it's true. The champion of Ash, as I live and breathe. To be in your presence is a great honor. I am Yule of Londor, a pilgrim, as you can see, only somehow I failed to die as was ordained. Well, perhaps my calling lies elsewhere. Say, champion of Ash, how does the idea of taking me into your service strike you? I was once a sorcerer. Surely I can be of use.
He's actually very useful. Yule's whole thing is that he can turn you hollow and give you some quote-unquote free level ups, even though they're not free, they scale on how hollow you are. And, or rather I should say the threshold of how you get the level ups scale with your hollowing. Basically, first one brings your hollowing from 0 to 1, then for the second one you have to die twice, so that would be 3. Then for the next one you have to die twice, so that would be 9. And then, no, for the third one it would be 9. Fourth one you die twice again, bringing you up to 27. And then, I think that's it for all of them. But for right now I'm going to accept him.
Oh, I am honored, truly. I should be dead, yet you have granted me purpose anew. I, Yule of Londor, do solemnly swear myself to you.
And there he goes. And if we go over here, we're going to find some miracles, and more importantly, an angel. The angel is deadly. The angel itself is physically invulnerable unless you kill that Londor. I forgot what they're called. I like to call them chrysalises or pupae because the angel, being a pilgrim, looks similar to the pilgrim butterflies. So this body here has Blood Orb, moderately powerful, bleeding miracle. This one has an Alluring Skull. This one has a Sage's Ring, which is the important thing here. So with the Sage's Ring, it increases my casting speed by basically giving you fake dexterity, since in this game casting speed scales with dexterity for some reason. I mean, it kind of makes sense. If you're quick with your hands, it would make sense that you would do the proper motions for a prayer or for an invocation. It would have also made sense if they had it scale with attunement, but I digress. So with it, the magic is much faster, comes in a lot of handy. There are a lot of enemies in the undead settlement. I don't know if I'll be able to take them all out before I reach the bonfire. I will try to, though. Body there with bloody coins. That's good for the Assassin Covenant. So for right now, I'm just going to heal. Thankfully, this staff has moderate scaling with physical, so it'll come in handy. Physical sorceries, on the whole, are quite powerful. I like them. Their whole niche is that they allow you to do moderate damage while also increasing your movement speed and encumbering your enemies. So it's a good mix of damage and utility. So that's annoying. Just trying to charge up the heavy attack. Sure, if I did the weapon art, it would have given me enough poise, but I will try the weapon art against this thrall up here. So there's a thrall here. To take him out, I'm going to do the weapon art, which is the Bastard's Curse. So when you do it, you slam the weapon into the ground, give yourself a shit ton of poise in the process, and swing the axe at full force, stunning large enemies and blasting away larger enemies. That's why I love this weapon so much. It scales with intelligence and faith equally, being a dark weapon, deals excellent damage, excellent poise damage, and the cherry on top is that it has native bleed. What is blocking this? I think it's the pillar. Okay, something is blocking this. I'm gonna go up here. For these undead settlement workers, I might as well show something funny about them. Did that do lightning damage along with physical? I think that did lightning damage along with physical because of how this weapon works. Let's take a look at how the moveset works. So these things are corpse cages. They're not very powerful, but they are annoying. They can build up poison very quickly. They're weak to pierce, so this magic does a number on them. Charcoal Pine Resin. Where is the undead settlement worker? He's fighting the thralls, okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, thralls and the workers don't like each other. Anyway, these guys have negative poise, so if you roll into them, you will completely stun them. Unlike the thralls, who have pretty moderate poise for their small size. Pale tongue on that corpse, which is good. Did I get the shiny up there? No, I did not. There are a lot of shinies in this area. So let's get this shiny. Easy way to do it is to just run. Bloody coin. There's a thematic reason as to why there are so many bloody coins here. So over here, there is a corpse. In vanilla, the corpse had Loretta's bone, which you would give to Grey Rat, and he would go into a bit of a depression before being motivated into roaming Lothric to steal shit to sell to you. Tragically, in this mod, though, or rather I should say thankfully, that tragic quest has been gotten rid of. So now I'm going to take care of the Evangelist. Take care of some of the soldiers here, too. Come on. I mean, when I say soldiers, I really mean farmers. So glad that farmer didn't kill me. Firebombs here. which would come in handy in this area because the enemies here are not so much weak to fire as much as there's so much flammable material here that they can easily just die from the explosion, which I will show in a moment. As you see with these guys here, they are very close to barrels full of explosives, and throwing the explosives ignites the barrels, allowing you to easily take them out. Magic of any kind helps too, as long as you can get good distance with it. Wind magic does a good job. So does lightning. There's a shit ton of Titanite from these guys. I even got an Estus recharge. So with these guys, I'm pretty sure if I throw a firebomb, it'll blow the barrels up. Yes, it did. Marvelous. Okay. There's an evangelist there, along with a settlement worker. Let's get the attention of the evangelist first. My mistake, that was just a worker. The evangelists are much bulkier than the workers. I could try to drop down. Hopefully I don't die from the fall. Tome with the Conclave, that'll come in handy to learn Druid magic. Titanite Shard, rubbish. Sometimes these guys drop fire buffs, like pine resin and sometimes they drop fire themed buffs like the resin or that firebomb. Titanite Shard, good. There's a body up there with a shiny. I don't know if I can reach it. More importantly, that's the shard here. More importantly, these guys go down easily. And here is the big threat. The evangelist herself. Yeah, the evangelist is still deadly. Thankfully, if I just spam wind magic, she should go down, and she does. Great. So there's some important things over here. Like a path over this way that leads to a Covenant and a moderately powerful weapon that I don't really care for, to be honest. So, oh wow, this does illuminate your surroundings a bit. Glad that they give it more utility as a buff than just as a means of lighting your path. Thralls, let's take them out. Sharp gem from them. I think the evangelist can also drop dark gems. Titanite shards. How many Titanite shards do I have? I have 43 Titanite shards and 16 twinkling Titanite pieces. That is excellent. Going to take out this villager. More bloody coins. There are basically two ways to reach the path that this building leads into. I'm just going to show what's in this building, and then I'll show the path connecting it at another time. Charcoal pine resin. Knocking over those corpses gets you an item. Essence shards, that's a Covenant item. In vanilla, that body just had a soul item. Estus ring here, and some soup. Eating the soup heals you. See how much damage I can do hitting these corpse cages with my kill them in one hit. That's good. There we go. There is a villager there. Do I have anything that I can drop here to show where all this shit connects? Don't have anything like a prism stone that I can drop, but I do have an item that I can drop. Evangelist up there, let's take her out with our magic. She's going to try to use her magic on us, but her magic usually collides with the wall, rendering it not as useful. Ours, however, doesn't have that problem. The real problem are these villagers. They are weak to fire, so flame's the name of the game with them. Okay. Let's get the attention of the evangelist. She's gonna try using her dark magic on us. There are many different ways of dealing with the bully magic that she uses. I was gonna say the best one was to roll through it. You can sometimes roll around it. I wouldn't recommend it though, as bleed, or rather gnaw, as the magic is called, has homing capabilities. So rolling away from a magic that can home in on you isn't all that good. Come on. Great. Going towards this building sets off a settler. Settler I'm going to take out. A whip on that corpse. The whip isn't a very good weapon, to be honest. If anything, I would rather go with the threaded falchion, because at least that can work as a sword and a whip. 2 things for the price of 1 is always better. Another piece of twinkling. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop something off over by this house. Let's drop off a... what's something in here that's not very useful? Let's leave a single piece of rubbish. And you're going to see that there's a little gold baggie on the floor because it's a usable item I dropped. You're going to find out how all this interconnects soon. House in here with the workers set. That's new. Let's see what the... I mean, not new in the sense that it's new armor, but new as in I didn't know that it was here. Boost endurance. Pretty good if you want to run like a speedy boy. I don't really care much for it. Another item, I believe this is also guarded by a thrall. Sunwhite metal. Funny, because the Warriors of Sunwhite were originally in this location. Not to the, like, Covenant... Not the Covenant vendor, but rather the Covenant symbol. My dog is barking outside. He noticed something. Okay, a little bit of slowdown, but I should be able to make it just fine to where I want to go. There's a bonfire close to here, and past that bonfire is a path leading to the 3rd bonfire of the area. Okay. Trust me, if you see slowdown on your end, that's because it's starting to slow down on my end too, so I need to make this quick. Okay, here these dingbats go. Okay, there's a thrall in here. Technically 2 thralls, but one isn't in the building. One is on the roof of the building. Don't you dare use fire bombs. Rolling into the bodies also knocks them over. Okay. Going to run past that thrall on the rooftop. Going to light the bonfire. Not even going to bother resting at it. Instead, I'm just going to sprint past everything here. Because there is a giant throwing arrows in the area, and his arrows will hit us by accident, but they will hit us. Broken manacle here. Okay. Over here is an undead settlement worker. Hopefully he doesn't throw his gigantic urn. Bonfire here. Okay, he didn't. Okay, he's gonna throw the urn, he's gonna throw the urn. Okay, bonfire there, and more importantly, the location that the bonfire connects to is the building that that other path connects to. As shown here with this place. Assassin's Brotherhood, Bloody Coin, and here is the Assassin's Dropbox. Here you can get items that are mainly dex-oriented, like dexterity weapons. Like that dagger that uses 32 dexterity, holy shit. Execute a combination of devastating slash attacks. Okay. Shadow Armor, which increases weapon damage and decreases enemy sight. That's pretty good. And Brotherhood Retainer set increases weapon damage and dexterity. And the Marksman set adds additional stamina regen and increases distance of ranged attacks and weapon damage, which is useful. And right out here, you're going to find the item that I dropped off. Because that's where all this connects. It's not all I want to do in this area, though. I would also like to get to an NPC and also a Covenant. So let's chug another one of these potions. Hopefully we have enough health to survive. And I can do that. Should have waited until later to use the Estus soup, now that I think about it. So yeah, gonna run back up through here. Go back through the farmhouse. This time I'm going to go around it to get a to a path that's guarded by some thralls. Ah, there he is. I was wondering where that thrall was. When it comes to thralls, the easy way of taking them out is to get the drop on them before they have a chance to get the drop on you. It's quite simple, really. Okay. Where's the one that's shooting at me? Well, anyway, I need to rest at the bonfire anyway. Do I have any more potions? No, I don't. Okay. Do I have any passive means of gaining health? No, I don't. So I could try to go through this place like normal. I'm likely going to die. I am very likely going to die. I believe he's the one that was shooting at me. So let's shoot at him. Thankfully, thralls are weak to physical damage. Body with some twinkling titanite, that's good. And yeah, kind of screwed. Come on, I want to get over here, get this guy's attention. And that one got me. Okay. I'll continue this another time. For right now, I'm just going to, oh yeah, this is the other bonfire. This is the bonfire I want to. Thankfully, I already have the Undead Settlement bonfire unlocked, but for right now, I'm going to take this out, put on Mud Throw, Poison, and Fire. Let's go back to the Undead Settlement, and this time I'm going to try to get my souls back from those thralls. Hopefully I don't die. Soul Fists are a cool weapon. They're literally some nuggets of souls that you use as a weapon. They natively deal magic damage. They're kind of strange, but kind of cool. Okay, gonna remove this. Going to maybe try this. That way I have something that's fast and moderately powerful. Now for the Thrall, let's get his attention. Thrall doesn't yet notice me, he's going to immediately go after the Worker. Worker's noticed me now. Okay. So, to deal with the Worker, best practice is to just stay a safe distance away from him. Chuck magic at his face. Thrall, much the same. Get relatively close, chuck magic at his face. Chuck magic that works at his face. I'd also try using grenades. Never mind, I won't try using grenades. Grenades don't seem to work on this guy. Something just died, leaving behind some souls for me to catch. Okay. It's a lot easier doing this once a lot of the enemies have been taken care of. Okay. Where's the one on the, there's one. Not the one I was thinking of, but that's one that would have shot at me. Let's take this one out here. Get our souls back. See if I can... I wonder if I can poison him from here. I should be able to. Poison phases through physical objects, so I should be... And yes, I can poison him. Good. Now we just play the waiting game until the poison kills him. Over there is another good weapon. It's a rapier that deals dark damage. And he got me. Because of how their attacks work, sometimes they get you from a weird angle. Well, anyway, I'm going to, I'm just going to regain my souls and I'll come back another time. Till then, I hope everyone has a good day. Time for the end card.